All right, 9:30 on a Thursday. We are here. My name is Shay. This is my weekly stream. And I think today we are world building. I want to do some work on the Summer Court as I have some adventurers going into the Feywild right away. It's going to be a little bit of background noise on the stream today. My wonderful neighbor is mowing the lawns. So my apologies for the droning, but I'm not willing to stop him because he's doing us an incredible service. So hopefully the noise isn't too bad. Let me know if I need to speak up or if it's disrupting so much so that we need to stop the stream for today. But yeah, hopefully we're all good. Hey Stephanie, how's it going? I hope that the sound of the lawnmower isn't too bad. I think Chris just stopped with the front and is going around back now, so hopefully it's not terrible, terrible. I am just about into a new book, you guys, which is very exciting. But I didn't have a notebook that I haven't used, so I'm tearing out these 2 pages of a notebook that I clearly did not continue with. And we'll be moving into this book instead. I am really the queen of doing 2 pages in a notebook and then never going back to it. Like, for real, it's a thing I do frequently. So yeah, we're not quite into that one yet, but we're going to be soon. Good morning, Brian. How are you, darling? And my Laura, hello, hello. So yeah, this is all we have left in this book, guys. Like, probably not out of it today, but this is it. That's all. It's pretty exciting, I think. What is the date today, my darlings? Is it the 11th? It is indeed the 11th. Awesome. Caffeinating and world building. I love that we can do this together. That's fantastic. What are you world building on? You got a culture or a town or session planning? I'm doing okay. My heart's a little heavy with everything that's in the news, and I'm feeling a little housebound because of COVID and, you know, same stuff that everybody's dealing with. Really excited to be able to just chill out and hang out with my friends this morning. I think that that'll be really, really nice. So yeah, doing the thing. So I want to work on some world building for the Summer Court of the Feywild this morning is kind of my plan. Right now, Lisa and Charles are doing a bit of a dungeon crawl in a temple to the Wild Mother in Carvis. Their intention is not to stay in Carvis. This was kind of a one-off mission to kind of palate cleanse and do some combat and stuff like that. And then the intention for them is to enter the Feywild and seek out a dragon named Tessarian, who has been rumored to have a lyre of building, which is a very powerful artifact that lets you build things. They're hoping to negotiate for the borrowing of this lyre of building to bring it back to the primordial towers and use it to try and repair one of the towers who's been damaged, whose name is Vexian. So their plan is to try and make it happen. They need to find Tessarian, though, and they need to convince Tessarian to let them borrow this artifact, even though Tessarian has no idea who they are. So this should be highly amusing. Tessarian is a dragon affiliated with the Feywild Summer Court. Tessarian does not live in the Summer Court, though, lives in the mountains along a northern border. So they need to do basically a hex crawl to get through the Feywild to that northern border. I have the hex crawl started. At least I have the random encounter chart started. Where is that piece of paper? Which we worked on in a previous stream. So I'm still not quite done with this yet. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to shove into this to kind of fill it out a little bit more. Not combat encounters, but other styles of encounters. But that's not my priority for today. For today, what I want to work on is if they go straight to the summer court, I want to have some stuff going on in the court that they can run into, like a couple of intrigues or personalities, stuff like that. So kind of like what we were doing for the noble houses in Havalis, I want to kind of do for the summer court, just come up with some NPCs and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at for today. Hopefully that is of interest to any of you. And yeah, we can get going. Hello, my Patrick. Sorry, I saw that you popped up, but I was in the middle of talking and did not interrupt myself, so my bad. We're drawing the campaign map in Hex Editor and coming up with some political backgrounds for various realms. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That sounds good. So yeah, hopefully me talking does not confuse your work, Brian. So what do I know about Summer? Summer right now has the Summer Queen, the Summer Maiden, and the Summer Knight. The Summer Queen's name is Rosamond. I do not have a name for the Maiden or the Knight. You can totally steal my stuff. That is absolutely it, and totally fine. If it's at all useful, make free. The Summer Queen is beautiful, but in kind of typical Fae fashion, kind of a collector of oddities. And those oddities often include people. She has a taste for exotics in terms of her consorts. And for her, like humans that wander into the Feywild are considered exotics. So she's had human paramours in the past who have either died because the Feywild, like Fae's lifespan is just so much longer, or eventually been released because the queen's been bored of them or whatever. So that's part of her personality. Likes novelty. We had talked about on a random encounter thing for the Feywild a couple of streams ago, the idea of a traveling carnival that was all normal people. And so I think like maybe she's commissioned the finding of that. A group gathers and discusses the recent going on of lavish parties. Yes. So we need to know what's been going on. Name the Knight Galahad or Sir Robin. Okay, we'll call him Robin. Summer Maiden. I don't know. Summer Maiden, what is your name? Thinking something Old English. How about Loena? Kind of like that. All right. Eating as you think shrimp is brain food. Yes, shrimp is brain food. Will make you smarter. All right. So what's going on at court? How many factions are there? Let's roll some dice. What dice should I roll, Stephanie? D6? Okay. One faction. Nope, that's not going to work. 3 factions. Okay. All right, faction number 1. Let's do one good, 1 neutral, 1 evil, maybe? That might be fun. All right, let's talk about the good faction. What will they be? The Aaron's Assembly. They are a group of archfey nobles who are the upper crust. And have been in the Queen's graces for many generations. Most are sycophants. But there are a few notable exceptions. There's 3 notable exceptions. Yeah, we'll do chaotic neutral for the next one, for sure. We'll do 1 good, 1 neutral, 1 evil. Because they can be chaotic good. They can be neutral good. They can be lawful good. Pardon me, the yawning is just extreme today. No fun. We need a name. Cavern. Cavern of the Azure Mountains. He's an envoy of the Bear King. And so while he tries to flatter and humor the Summer Queen. He always stands up for the interests of his sovereign. What is he after? What is the personality? That's exactly the thing we need to figure out. What is his personality? He used to run chaotic neutral dice rolls. He had a chart half bad, half good. Yeah, for sure. That can be a good way of keeping chaotic randomized. Again with the yawn. Sorry, friends. The Bear King wants hunting rights on Summerland. Hunting for lost humans because human blood is a substance that eases or erases bad memories, and for nigh immortals there are always things you want to forget. The Bear King offers the fealty of the North, protection of the Feywild, from monsters, etc., that happen through the portals in the Bear King's domain. The Queen isn't super into this. Wants the humans and their blood for her own use. Yeah. Okay. Let me read that back. See if it makes any sense. There are 3 factions at court. The first is the Aaron's Assembly, which is a group of archfey nobles who are in the upper crust and have been in the Queen's graces for many generations. Most are sycophants, but there are a few notable exceptions. The first of these exceptions is Caverin of the Azure Mountains. He is an envoy of the Bear King, and so while he tries to flatter and humor the Summer Queen, he always stands up for the interests of his sovereign. What does he and the Bear King want from the Summer Court? They want hunting rights on Summer land. They're hunting for lost humans because human blood is a substance that eases or erases bad memories. And for nigh immortals, there are always things you'd rather forget. The Bear King offers the fealty of the North and protection of the Feywild from the monsters, etc., that happen through the portals in the Bear King's domain. The Queen isn't super into this, wants the humans in their blood for their own use, and feels she/her guard can handle those rare incursions. Cavern's personality is what? Good morning, my Joe. How are you? Okay, Patrick, come back whenever you're ready. What is his personality like? He's level-headed but a bit gruff. More grounded than an archfey. He's not great at politics. He's really blunt. The courtiers find this bluntness both offensive and oddly charming / humorous. The novelty thing gets him by. What would his attitude be towards adventurers? Well, he wants to collect them. And take them to the north. So to that end, he's going to be friendly, helpful, and appear easygoing. With humans. Kind of earthy. A little bit hedonist. When it comes to food and drink. What does he look like? He's 6 feet tall. Powerfully built, but also fat. Like a grizzly bear. Big shoulders. As wide as he is tall. Lots of muscle. And a big belly. He has brown hair and black eyes. Wears a Are you talking to a man down under, Patrick? Are you at a land down under, I should say? Wears a huge bearskin. Has a cape. The head is still on it. Fully preserved. And sits on his shoulder. The cloak is magic and lets the Bear King watch through its eyes. Okay. The ass end of the fur is worn out? Why is it worn out? Oh, Vegemite. Not my favorite thing. Oh, someone is trying to call me. 1 second. Hi, boss. You're on camera because I'm live streaming. So I will call you when I'm done, okay? You really do. It's all good. Can I call you after? I am world building. Summer Court stuff. There's politics, so maybe. You can tune in for 5 minutes if you want. Okay, love you, bye. Sorry about that, folks. Been at work to say thanks for remembering them. All he does is sit. Yeah, legit, all he does is sit. That makes sense. Sorry about the interruption. I thought I had turned off notifications, but apparently I had not. All right, so let's stop with him for now. We have another person in the Aaron's assembly. They are going to be chaotic neutral. So this is our guy that's good. And I'd say he's probably a lawful good, but he's lawful to the Bear King's laws. Number 2, they are chaotic neutral. All right, we need a name. How about Melanie? Marmite is better than Vegemite? I didn't have an opinion about this. So, yeah. Sorry, Saxon just got up and left the room.
Sorry, I came up.
No, you can come up. That's fine. Can you close the door? Marmite on toast. All right, Melanie. Silver Spire. Oh, what if Cavern is a shapeshifter? Cloak is like Shelky sealskin. Okay, cool. Melanie Silverspire is who? You are a dude. You are a lady. Melanie is a bard. Gifted. Gifted in what instrument? In many instruments, probably. But what are the top two? In guitar and harp. Has been the chronicler of the court. Lute? Okay. Lute. Chronicler of the Summer Court. For the past generation. She tries to see the gestalt of the Summer Court. Its excesses, its conservatism, its whimsy. She tries to record it honestly. But still in a way that pleases the queen. Pleasing the queen is more of a matter of style. Well, that's not necessarily true. Pleasing the queen balances style and subject matter. Melanie is very, very good at politics. And good at diplomacy and flattery. Human intestines make the best strings. Ah! Gross. Patrick. Dark as hell. I hope my computer's delivered before the storm hits. Oh no. Storms. That's no good. Although I do love a good thunderstorm. They are fabulous. Is she a secret child of the king? Where is the summer king? There's been a lot of consorts, but there's been no king. Why has there been no king? We should figure that out. Was the daughter of the last king is a bastard. So couldn't inherit the throne. So it went to Rosamund. A cousin instead. There we go. I like that. She's a wielder of bardic magic. Spelt that wrong. Is responsible for assessing and guarding against assassination. Monitoring people's intentions. And manipulating them if need be. All right. So Melanie Silverspire is a bard gifted in lute and harp. She's the chronicler of the Summer Court for the past generation. She tries to see the gestalt of the Summer Court, its excesses, its conservatism, its whimsy. She tries to record it honestly, but still in a way that pleases the queen. Pleasing the queen balances style and subject matter. She is good at politics and good at diplomacy and flattery. She was the daughter of the last king and is a bastard, so couldn't inherit the throne, so it went to Rosamund, a cousin, instead. She wields bardic magic and is responsible for assessing and guarding against assassination by monitoring people's intentions and manipulating them with magic if need be. What's her relationship with the queen like? Did she want the crown or not? Does the queen know she's the king's bastard? That is a really good question. What do you think? She does not know? Okay. But Melanie knows that that's her father. Does she know who her father was? Maybe not. That's another good question. If she doesn't know and the queen doesn't know, who knows? Why is that information important? Queen doesn't know Melanie is king's daughter. Maybe the queen knows, but Melanie doesn't know. And the queen is keeping her on as a bard to keep her close so that she can't be used as a puppet to take over the throne. Yeah. Okay. Queen knows Melanie is king's daughter. Melanie doesn't. Queen installed her as Laurel Bard to keep her nearby so people wouldn't foment a revolt around her and try to unseat Rosamond from the throne. They get along well. Does the queen view Melanie as a surrogate child? What was the queen's relationship like with the previous king? Were they married? Was the previous king, her previous king would have been her uncle? No, they wouldn't have been married if it was a cousin. So her uncle, did she like him? Did she hate him? Is she determined to like raise Melanie up as like a child, or like just this is a professional working relationship? Is Melanie like a close confidant of the queen? I think probably. Seems to me that if you're the Laurel Bard and you're responsible for like guarding against assassinations and stuff, you probably would be pretty close to your queen. What's the age difference? Maybe they're about the same age. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I like that. They get along well. They are roughly the same age. Both well versed in rulership. They grew up together in court. Okay. How did the queen find out that Melanie was the king's bastard? Blackmailers? Patrick had this idea for blackmailers earlier. Okay, cool. So blackmailers came. And she put them all to the sword to preserve the secret. Okay. Fatal. Oh, Patrick, that's terrible. Oh my goodness, you guys would have been so proud of me last night in terms of bad puns. We were going through the Wild Mother Temple adventure that I wrote up for them, and they had encountered like the red slad and then the blue slad and then the green slad. And Charles was like, man, this is a lot of slads. And I was like, yeah, it's like a slad bar, like a salad bar, but a slad bar. And it was hysterical. Lisa and I both laughed so hard. And Charles was like, oh, you're terrible. And I was like, yes, yes, I am. It was very, very funny if you were there, but whatever. Not everyone has my sense of humor, I suppose, but a slad bar. It was pretty great. And so because of the secret, Rosamund tries to protect her as best she can. Yeah, okay. Maybe there's also factions that are trying to kill off Melanie to make sure there's no competition for Rosamund, despite the fact that Rosamund doesn't feel threatened by Melanie. Okay, Rosamund tries to protect Melanie. There have been assassination attempts on Melanie by those who want to secure the throne. For Rosamund, despite Rosamund not feeling threatened by Melanie. Okay. Melanie wouldn't want the crown even if it was offered to her. What is Melanie's attitude toward adventurers? Curiosity, okay. She's always looking for new songs and tales for her repertoire. She probably wants to be on at least one adventure. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Respect, but also jealousy because her position keeps her at court, and she really wants to adventure and see more of what's out there. Rosamund doesn't want her to leave because she's out of control if she leaves. Rosamund forbids adventuring because she can't guarantee Melanie's safety when she's out of sight. Okay. Cool. All right, we have a third major exception to our rule. This person is evil. Are they lawful evil, neutral evil, or chaotic evil? Chaotic evil? Okay. All right, so we got chaotic evil. Remind me again what that alignment looks like. $122. Chaotic evil. Creatures act with arbitrary violence, spurred by their greed, hatred, or bloodlust. Demons, red demons, and orcs are created chaotic evil. Demons, red dragons, and orcs. What if we had a red dragon general of the Queen's army? Mrs. Pierce, my second grade teacher. Oh my. Oh, demons could also be fun. I really hope Lee's not listening right now. So we were talking a couple of streams back about the Bloodstone Cavalry and having them kind of around in this context. What if the general of the Queen's army is one of the Bloodstone Cavalry? Although I kind of love the idea of having a red dragon general because that's just really fun. You think the dragon? Cool beans. I like that. All right, we need a good red dragon name, people. What do we got? I need a different, not English. Table of contents, where are you? What about a Persian name? Do we have that option? Right? Brian, have you seen that quiz that is it a Tolkien elf or a prescription? I forget exactly what the title was, but it was freaking hysterical. Hang on, I'm going to try and find the link and post it in the chat. I think it's this one. Oh my goodness. You got all of them right? Good for you. That's awesome. The only ones that I get right are the ones that I'm on. Okay, so we need a red dragon name. What do we got here? Remoulade. That's sauce, is it not? Fantastic place names. Creating fantastic names. Hang on, there's a section in here on other races. Let's see if they got anything on dragons. 188. I haven't read that far in the book yet. I always end up using the first half of it. There is a table, guys, a rolling table for draconic names. Okay, let's play with this. This is really fun. Okay, so we need a d20. All right. So we're just going to write these on a back page until we come up with one we like. That'll be my plan. So on a 20, we have 3. So Adra. And then a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jazra. And then a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sarku. This is really long. Holy wow. And then 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mordex. That seemed like unusually. $11 on 2. Mordax. Okay, I like Mordax. Let's do that. That's simple and nice. Mordax. The Mordax, comma, Crimson Rain. All right, Mordax is a red dragon. Primary general of the Summer Queen's army. Demands respect from the Queen. Accepts fear from everyone else. Likes to bite or something? That's fabulous. That like makes me super happy. The herpes worm. Adraj could be the military title. Okay. A-D''R-A-J. That is my French showing through. Raj is the title. Okay. Accepts fear from everyone else is brutal, cunning, tactical, unforgiving, it's a little self-righteous. Why does he work for the queen? He does origami on the side with those giant claws. Like, he makes an origami boat that people can actually, you know, like, go sailing in. He was promised his own lands. Okay. For how long of service? Or maybe he only gets the lands while he's in service, because draconic lifespans are really, really long. Keeps the lands while in position. Will be relegated to less desirable space when retires. How does the queen keep him in line? Where's my monster manual? All right. Dragons. Black. Blue. Green. Red. They are the most covetous of the true dragons. They want treasure. And they are exceptionally vain even for dragons. Okay, so we've got money. Money's a good motivation. Pretty sure you'd need an enormous spray bottle for that, Laura. I don't think it would work. That's really funny, though. Gifts of phenomenal treasure. To add to his hoard. Commissions. Odes and ballads. To bolster his reputation. Basically, money and flattery. Okay. He is self-righteous and greedy. So it says that red dragons are fiercely territorial and isolationist. However, they yearn to know about events in the wider world, and they make use of lesser creatures as informants, messengers, and spies. They are most interested in news about other red dragons, with which they compete constantly for status. When it requires servants, a red dragon demands fealty from chaotic evil humanoids. If allegiance isn't forthcoming, it slaughters the tribe's leaders and claims lordship over the survivors. Creatures serving a red dragon live in constant terror of being roasted and eaten for displeasing it. They spend most of their time fawning over the creature in attempts to stay alive. I don't think that I dig that. That's not my favorite thing. I want them to be more cunning than that. I think Mordax secretly thinks he's the power behind the throne and views himself as the rightful ruler of the Summer Court. And just that he's like divesting his responsibility onto Rosamund so that he doesn't have to deal with the tedium of actually ruling. He can go on and just do the shit he likes to do. Okay. Hodges is his title given to him for his great age, not his military title. The elder Billy Williams. Thoughts? I don't know who Billy Williams is. But he's old. Okay. So maybe if he's old, he's worried about upstart red dragons honing in on his territory. He's ancient and concerned with other dragons, such as Tessarian, honing in on his territory. Is using the Summer Court as spy network to keep tabs on other dragons in the area, especially red dragons. Has been secretly hunting other dragons. Who come into the region. Is he looking for one last mate? Maybe he is. Maybe he didn't have children. Other male dragons. So then he's looking for a mate. Looking to mate one last time before he fades. Hasn't found a red female yet. He's outlived all of his offspring. Oh, interesting. Okay. Has outlived all of his offspring from younger days. Okay, so if he's outlived all of his other offspring, were his offspring killed by adventurers, and therefore he has no patience with adventurers that come to the court, even though the queen is very fascinated by them? He will actively try to kill the adventurers he comes across. They died in any number of ways, but death by adventurers is particularly enraging. Okay. In a way that won't arouse the suspicions of the queen. Okay. All right. So that gives us our 3 of the first factions. So we need a second faction. I need some colored underline here because there's reasons. Green pen. All right. And where's my purple pen? Okay, we'll just use the red one. Mordax is a guy. All right. We need another faction. They are not the nobility. They are the minor nobility, because that makes sense. They are jockeying for position. And prestige. Hoping to join the, how did I spell that? Uran's assembly. They tend to be younger. Blackmailer happy today. um, they tend to be younger fae. They tend to be the non-human looking fae. So sprites, goblins, satyrs, etc. Time casters. Maybe on like lower spans of time. I don't know. I'm going to say that these guys are frequently also courted by the Winter Court. Who tries to convince them that the Summer Court has a pureblood fae bias. This is a strategy of the Winter Court to sow discord into summer. Civil unrest. Can I read what I have? Yeah. Where do you want me to go back to? The beginning? Okay. The Erin's Assembly, a group of archfey nobles who are the upper crust and have been in the Queen's graces for many generations. Most are sycophants, but there are a few notable exceptions. The first is Caverin of the Azure Mountains. He is an envoy of the Bear King, and so while he tries to flatter and humor the Summer Queen, he always stands up for the interests of his sovereign. The Bear King wants hunting rights on summer land, hunting for the lost humans because human blood is a substance that eases or erases bad memories, and for nigh immortals there are always things you'd rather forget. The Bear King offers the fealty of the North and protection of the Feywild from the monsters, etc. that happen through the portals in the Bear King's domain. The Queen isn't super into this, wants the humans in their blood for her own use, and feels that she and her guard can handle those rare incursions. Caverin's personality is level-headed and a bit gruff. He's more grounded than regular archfey. He's not great at politics, so he's very blunt. The courtiers find this bluntness both offensive and oddly charming or humorous. The novelty thing gets him by. His attitude toward adventurers is that he wants to collect them and take them to the Bear King, so he comes across as friendly, helpful, and easygoing. He's kind of earthy and a little bit hedonistic when it comes to food and drink. He's 6 foot tall, powerfully built, but also fat like a grizzly bear. and has brown hair, brown eyes, wears a huge bearskin as a cape, with the head still on it, fully preserved, which sits on his shoulder. The cloak is magic, and the Bear King can watch through its eyes. The second NPC we came up with was Melanie Silverspire. She is a bard, gifted in guitar, lute, and harp. She's a chronicler of the Summer Court for the past generation. She tries to see the gestalt of it, its excess, its conservatism, its whimsy. She tries to record it honestly, but still in a way that pleases the Queen. Pleasing the Queen balances style and subject matter. Melanie is good at politics and good at diplomacy and flattery, was the daughter of the last king and is a bastard, so couldn't inherit the throne, so it went to Rosamund, who's a cousin. She wields bardic magic and is responsible for assessing and guarding against assassination by monitoring people's intentions and manipulating them with magic if need be. Her relationship with the Queen is that they get along well. They are roughly the same age. They're both well versed in rulership and they grew up together in court. The Queen knows Melanie is the king's daughter, but Melanie doesn't. The Queen installed her as Laurel Bard to keep her nearby so people wouldn't foment a revolt around her and try to unseat Rosamund from the throne. How did Rosamund find out Melanie was the king's daughter / her cousin? Blackmailers came to Rosamund to try and extort her. She put them all to the sword to preserve the secret. Rosamund tries to protect Melanie. There has been assassination attempts on Melanie by those who want to secure the throne for Rosamund, despite Rosamund not feeling threatened by Melanie. Melanie wouldn't want the crown even if it was offered to her. Her attitude towards adventurers is curiosity. She's always looking for new songs and tales for her repertoire. And respect, she has respect for adventurers, but also jealousy because her position keeps her at court and she really wants to adventure and see more of what's out there. Rosamund forbids adventuring because she can't guarantee Melanie's safety when she's out of sight. The third NPC we came up with was Mordax, the Crimson Rain. He's a red dragon, the primary general of the Queen of Summer's army. He demands respect from the Queen and accepts fear from everyone else. He's brutal, cunning, tactical, and unforgiving, as well as self-righteous and greedy. He was promised his own lands for his service, and he keeps those lands while he's in a position to be the general, but will be relegated to less desirable space when he retires. The Queen keeps him in line with gifts of phenomenal treasure to add to his hoard. She commissions odes and ballads to bolster his reputation. It basically all comes down to money and flattery. He's ancient and concerned with other dragons, such as Tessarian, honing in on his territory. He's using the Summer Court as a network to keep tabs on other dragons in the area, especially red dragons. He has been secretly hunting and exterminating other male dragons who come into the region. He's looking to mate one last time before he fades. He has outlived all of his offspring from his younger days. His kids were killed off by adventurers, etc., and so he has no patience for adventurers despite the Queen's fascination with them. He will actively try to kill adventurers he comes across in a way that won't arouse the suspicions of the Queen. So now we're into the second faction, which we've decided is a minor nobility faction. They are jockeying for position and prestige. They're hoping to join the upper nobility in the Era's assembly. They are younger fae. A lot of them are non-human looking fae, such as sprites, goblins, and satyrs. They are frequently courted by the Winter Court, who tries to convince them that the Summer Court has a pureblood fae bias, and that's a strategy of the Winter Court to sow discord into the summer through the civil unrest. So that's what we got so far. Oh, hey, Dennis. How's it going? You're back. I didn't know you had to go. Read what I have. I just did that. I'll reread for the second faction that we're working on. They're minor nobility. They're jockeying for position and prestige. They're hoping to join the Erin's assembly. They tend to be younger fae, a lot of non-human looking fae, such as sprites, goblins, satyrs. And frequently they're courted by the Winter Court, who tries to convince them that the Summer Court has a pureblood fae bias. This is a strategy of the Winter Court to sow discord into the Summer Court through civil unrest. Patrick, you're the worst. I mean, also wonderful, but come on, quit trolling me. Sometimes. I think we're doing okay for the most part, Dennis. Just trying to get some work done on NPCs for the Summer Court, factions and stuff like that, because I've got players that are going into that area soon. And yeah, otherwise, like, the world is a pretty heavy place right now between coronavirus and the riots. and just trying to do my part to like decolonize my own brain, but also make sure that we're having some joy and some fun with game at the same time, because I think that's super important to try and balance the heavy work with joyful things too. Oh my goodness, you guys, we're almost at an hour and a half already. Dennis, you tuned in right for the end. Right for the end. All right, we need a name for this faction. This book is in my way now. Close this. There we go. These charts are really neat, you guys. There's a section in here on how to make names for mollusks. This is just so cool. Huh. Okay, so apparently I need to spend more time looking at the second hand of this book. This is really fun. Spun up for craziness. Well, be careful out there. Gary Gygax's Book of Names. It is an absolutely fabulous supplement for naming conventions. No, I haven't heard of that at all, Patrick. It's on drive-through RPG. Cool. I just need to Google the meaning of the name. 1 second here. The first, okay. First question. Interesting. I like that. Oops. Sorry, guys. Did not mean to smack the camera. Okay, I will check that out. Western Europe sounds like it's still useful to me. So the name I chose for the second faction is the Houses of Rishonsal, which are both Jewish names, and it translates to the first question. And so, okay, if you were a faction of people who wanted to become upper nobility, what would be the first question you would ask? Like, what's the most important question you could think of? I'm thinking something to do with like loyalty or intention. Mm. What is our noble line? I don't understand, Patrick. It's not a good one. Okay. Um, no, it's fine. Suggestions are always good. I'm feeling kind of stumped on this one, guys, to be honest. I got to think about it some more. We just hit our hour-and-a-half mark, though, so I think we should wrap it up for today. I will continue to ponder this question, and we will come back to this at some point. I may or may not stream tomorrow. Kind of depends on how my day goes. I want to run some 2E for Dave because he's been really missing playing the game. So we'll see how far we get today, and then if he wants to play again in the morning tomorrow. If I am going to stream tomorrow, I will post it to the Facebook page, of course. And even if I'm not, I'll post just so you guys know what's going on with me. And yeah, we'll go from there. I have June's map to get started on. And yeah, I forgot to say in the beginning of the stream that the 5-hour stream that we did the other weekend got taken down because we were listening to music. It was copyright infringement. So they were like, yeah, no, don't do this anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So I feel bad that that stream was taken down because it was pretty epic. But I guess we'll just do them again, and I'll either find copyright-free music, which does exist out there. I just haven't gone looking for it yet. Or we'll just continue to hang out and do what we normally do with no music on. All right, so I am going to go. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I will let you again know tomorrow what's going on with tomorrow. And thanks so much for your help with this today. That's super exciting. I'm starting a Pirates game for my niece and nephew with a map. Nice! That's super exciting, Patrick. Post the map to the group so I can see it. Bye, Dennis. Stay safe out there, okay? Laura, Joe, if you're still here, thanks for hanging out. And Steph, have a good one. Brian, if you're still here, have fun with your world building. Catch you guys later.